One of the things I love about Sibelius, and it's always been this way, is that Sibelius makes your job easier because you don't have to go and look for tools or go searching through menus for anything. So here's what we're going to do. We need to move some things around in the score. We're just going to go ahead and grab it and move it. So let's zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about here. Let's grab this. You can see that it's maybe not quite where we want it. We want to go against the engraving rules that have been set in stone for ages, and we're going to just move this beam around. Or perhaps we think, wow, this bar line here is just not quite where I want it. I just want to click on it, drag it over, and move it. We didn't have to go searching up here through all the menus. We didn't have to go and grab any tools. We just did it. And that applies to most things that you see on the score here. If I want to move this word flute because it's in my way for some reason, I just grab it and move it out of the way. If I want to zoom out a little bit and move this staff, just click it and drag it. Sibelius even lets you do things that you really shouldn't, like crash these two staves together, or go ahead and grab this title and put it in the middle of the piece of music. There's all kinds of things you can do that you shouldn't, but the reality is whatever you want to do, it can be done. I'm going to go ahead and notice that there is a little typo here. It should say gear space wire, so I'm just going to click on that, put a space in there, no problem at all. Sibelius is going to support all kinds of things that you just expect it to do. You're not going to have to look up the manual to figure this out. It's just going to be in there. Now the next thing I might want to do is cut and copy and paste. Now of course, if you're like me, you've been doing that since grade school with your computer, so you expect that every program should work that way. Well, of course Sibelius does. I can click on a measure right here to select it, or I can shift click over to here to select multiple measures, or maybe I just double click to select the whole line. Lots of different ways to select things. I could even draw a box around something if I really want to. You can see here I can select very odd pieces. I've selected this. Now if I want to make a copy of that, just as you would expect, I'm going to do Command C and then come down here and paste it, Command V, and it made an exact copy and pasted it in place. Now of course I'm going to select this whole flute part, make a copy, paste it down onto the clarinet, but it's not quite playing in the range that I want, so I'm going to hit the up arrow a couple of times, move it into a different place. Very easy to do, doesn't require any reading in manuals or any special thought, it just works. If I want to select a portion of music that's in the middle and make some changes to it, perhaps I realize that there's a note where I made a mistake. I can just grab it, click on it right here, use my arrow keys to move it up and down. I could use my number pad over on the right hand side of my keyboard to change the rhythmic value. And of course Sibelius knows that my measure is now short and needs a rest, so it went ahead and inserted a rest for me.